जय धारी माँ नमस्ते। आइए जुड़िए मेरे साथ 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 विद साइना में। दिल से दिल की बात करेंगे। द लाइट विद इन मी ऑनर्स द लाइट विद इन यू। जय धारी माँ आप सबको नमस्ते।
Namaste.
कृष्णा जी वेरी वेलकम।
Om Namaste.
कृष्णा जी हरे कृष्णा।
Hari Om.
हरि ओम जी वेरी वेलकम। सो हैप्पी टू सी यू। So
Thank you
happy.
so much for having me. What a beautiful and thoughtful and well researched introduction with slideshow you made. Thank you. I feel very honored that you've gone to so much trouble to. Yeah,
Our
that's very beautiful.
our DL team has done that for you very
Wonderful.
with a lot of love. With a lot of love.
Wonderful. Thank you. Really. Thank you so much.
Ji. Krishna ji, I think this 1 hour and today's day is about protecting the future. We're trying to protect the future when we express gratitude towards Mother Nature. We love her. We protect the future. Krishna ji, let's start with your Indian roots, your love for Bharat Ma, your love for Ma Bhumi, for the motherland. How did it all start?
Well, I think that I grew up in the countryside. The first school I attended was an alternative kindergarten on a farm with cows and horses and growing wheat and I think and my parents had a vegetable garden, were quite serious about growing vegetables and living a simple life. And I think that set me on a certain bearing. As I grew up, my mother was always into Indian philosophy, and she ended up taking sannyas with Osho in 1990. And my house was full of pictures of gurus, Anandamai, Muktananda, Ramana Maharishi, and there were books everywhere: Sufism, Buddhism, you name it. And from a young age, I was reading those books. And it was actually a very deep spiritual call that I felt, I think, from quite a young age. And by the grace of God, I was brought to the J. Krishnamurti School in England, where I studied. And basically, my life unfolded from that time onwards. Um, I was around people who'd lived with Krishnamurti, and I was around very serious people who had dedicated their life to 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 exploring the profundity of what he was talking about in action in within the context of a school. So in that school I was studying jazz guitar, I was studying genetic engineering with my dear teacher Paco, and I was doing theater. I do a lot of acting, but I was also helping run the vegetable garden, and the vegetable garden was being run at that time by a guy called Freddie. And Freddie had lived in Oroville in the 70s and the 80s, and he's still here in Oroville now, and he's a great bhakta of Mother and Sri Aurobindo. You know, he really exemplifies Sri Aurobindo's line that all life is yoga. You know, his he doesn't have holidays. For him, you know, work is yoga, holiday is yoga, sleep is yoga, all is yoga. And he inspired me so much, really. He inspired me to see that, you know, that living close to nature, growing food in a community, um, planting trees, understanding the benefits of edible weeds, understanding simple practices in farming, and living close to all of that was a valid lifestyle. So I think that's where sort of probably there was a lot of pre-work done, which is not so consciously done, but that's where it really came to me that, yeah, I want to live close to nature. And then he told me about Oroville, and I'd been to India before in 1990 because Krishnamurti's very close friend Friedrich Grohe, who is a beautiful person who supported so many of the Krishnamurti schools around the world and in India. And in England, America, and he was Krishnamurti's guardian angel, and he paid for our school and the Krishnamurti school in California to come to India and visit the schools in Banaras, Rishi Valley in Andhra, the school in Kerala, and he was really inspired
He'll
me
be back.
to see that,
Can we check, Sujata? Shakira? Krishna ji will have to reconnect. आप हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए. He'll be back. हम अभी चेक करते हैं. अभी देखते हैं. Should we connect back? Should we start the program again? आप हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए. He'll join again. I think today's program is about conserving Mother Nature. हम कई बार ये बैठ के सोचते नहीं हैं कि हमें कुदरत क्या क्या दे रहे हैं. हम वो ग्रैटिट्यूड एक्सप्रेस नहीं करते.
I don't know what happened.
वो बहुत ज़रूरी है.
I'm
वेलकम
very
बैक.
sorry. I'm so
प्लीज गो.
sorry about that.
प्लीज
What
गो.
Do you know? Do you Can you tell me where I got up to and before you lost me?
Yes, you were talking about your connect with Freddie and how you came to Auroville. That's the connection.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
think
I was.
I think you can say that and my school trip to India, supported by Mr. Friedrich Grohe, who was Krishnamurti's guardian angel, and discovering a country which was alive, where the
Yes,
people were warm. And there was a sharing and a community and a sense of culture. I think that was a massive pull.
lovely. So Auroville called you.
Yes.
Auroville called you. And you strongly believe that each experience of your life was connected.
100%. They're all precursors
Yes,
unfolding.
yes. How did the solitude farm take? उसका जन्म कैसे हुआ? वो
मैं
solitude
मैं
farm,
मैं
how did,
हिंदी बहुत कम है.
okay, how did the
मैं दिल
solitude,
में बरत है मगर हिंदी बस मलम नहीं
you know your
है.
Hindi, of course you know Hindi. You know Hindi. But
I know
tell us,
Tamil.
yes, you know Tamil. And how beautiful, you know beautiful Tamil. You know beautiful Tamil. How, tell us about the birth of the farm, the solitude farm.
So I came to Oroville in January 93. I was 19 years old. I just left the Krishnamurti school. My heart was passionate with the vision of the mother and Sri Aurobindo and reading his books. And I'd also discovered my guru, who is a Japanese farmer called Masanobu Fukuoka. And Fukuoka has been the thread throughout all my journey. Um, if you read his book, The One Straw Revolution, you can see that one of my guru devs is a Marathi jnani called Nisargadatta Maharaj. And if you read his book carefully, I Am That, and you read Fukuoka's book, sometimes the whole passage is the same. It's word for word. Fukuoka is actually talking about non-duality. He's talking about that nature is perfect and there's nothing you could do to understand nature. How could you claim to know Bhumidev? How could you claim to know a divinity? We are all tiny specks of her brilliance. We can't claim to know that. We are that. Tattvamasi, that thou art. So with all of that sort of philosophy sort of swimming around in my heart and my mind, I came to Oroville and I started for a year in Annapurna Farm under the guidance of Mr. Thomas, who was an amazing one-armed farmer who we have so much to thank to him for growing food in Oroville. And still now he's running Annapurna Farm, an amazing farm that's actually a demonstration for many other farmers in the bioregion. So I learned a lot. I think the bit more than a year I spent there, and it was like an apprenticeship, learning the tools, the season, the crops, but especially the language, because the language is the vehicle through which you can start to understand agriculture. But after a year or so there, I felt that I wanted to challenge myself even more. So I started a project called Aranya, which was a 50-acre reforestation project. And I took a bullock cart and a crowbar and I set up a tent and I built my own hut with granite pillars and palm leaves and a mud floor. And I started farming there. And after a year or so of that, I I started Solitude Farm. Goes to fast forwards to January 96. Now, Solitude, we're just in our very early 20s, in this time. We don't know anything very much. We have a smattering of an experience, and we start to build our kitchen and we start to, do a little bit of farming and this and that. And I was very much in love at that time, so I ran off to France 2 years later to follow this woman I was in love with, and I was also very inspired to do my first album. So I went to France and I did my first album in Paris, and this sort of went on and off until 2002. and I found myself in Spain studying flamenco guitar. I took 2 years out of Oroville, and I said to myself, Krishna, what are you doing, running around the world? You know, everything you could dream of doing is in Oroville. Oroville is this amazing gift where, if you have the maturity, you could study ballet dancing, Bharatnatyam, Russian, and Sanskrit. Everything is possible. All you have to do is have the maturity to do it. So I came back home. And I got back to solitude, and I was very fortunate to be able to start the farm again where I'd left it. And I made a list of all the reasons that I'd come to Oroville in the beginning, and on top of my list was Masanobu Fukuoka. The aim of understanding his non-interventional agriculture, his very deep vision of farming. And the next day, someone gave me an invitation to go and meet him. Now, I thought he was dead. But so I had this invitation to go and meet him in Vandana's place, in Vandana Shiva's farm in Dehradun. And I didn't have any money, so Thomas from Annapurna gave me the money, and another friend gave me a place to stay, and it all just worked out. So I spent 5 days with Fukuoka. This is in 2003. And it was like being with your guru. It was like receiving diksha. And basically, I came back from there just so fired up. And I think that's not stopped. It hasn't, that fire has just burnt continuously since then. And what we've seen is that Fukuoka was saying that nature's already perfect. You can't do anything to understand nature. You can go to Harvard and Cambridge and IIT and study the soil and take it to a lab, but actually, you can't dissect nature and say 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. When you get to 9, you add 1. You don't have 10. You have nothing, because nature is not, the sum of its parts. It's an integral, holistic, living, moving, being. It's a divinity. And Fukuoka was pointing that out, and pointing out that if we did less, mostly the problems we have on this planet are man-made.
Yeah.
Climate change is man-made. The lifestyle diseases we have are man-made. An education system that's pretty futile is man-made. The pollution is man-made. Ecological disasters. So all of these things, he was pointing out that if we do less, it's like a spiral. Instead of going out, you go in to a point of non-action. And in that moment of non-action, you have the possibility of actually meeting nature as she truly is. And this is not how to say, a flippant narrative that you can just throw around. This is something that you have to live day in and day out for many, many, many years. But I never felt like that, to me, like, because I never had my eyes set on a goal, because it was very clear to me the goal is the living it. That's simply, that's what it is. It's just living it from day one. um and So over the years, basically, what we've done at the farm is understand that when you return organic matter, you have a healthy soil. A healthy soil is alive with millions of microorganisms, molds, bacteria, insects, earthworms, fungi, small animals, and the mycelium. The life in the soil is directly proportionate to the fertility of the soil. You could say life equals fertility. And you could change those two words and say life, fertility, Mother Nature. In Europe, they call her Gaia. In South America, she's known as Pachimama. In India, many names. One is Bhumidev, you know, Bhumima, as you say. So it's like that. It's a divinity because it's life. And the more we can nurture that life and not disturb it with plowing, with chemicals, with a very anthropocentric point of view of what we want, but rather allow her to offer us her blessings, then we have the chance of creating a food forest, which I would say is the most expansive um, relationship we could have with with growing our food. So over the years, there was a lot of experimentation, including growing rice without plowing and etc. and etc. But over time, we started to see the ramfal is growing on its own, mangoes growing on their own, custard apples, sitafal growing on their own, guavas growing on their own, papayas everywhere, haldi growing back on its own, pineapples, even bendi, the lady's finger, coming back on its own, and many, many different types of sag, spinaches, growing on their own. And we sort of started to see that those are the gifts of Mother Nature, and those are the very fabric of a cultural nutritional heritage. Now, parallel to this learning was the need to be economically sustainable. So we started a farm to plate cafe. That means anything that grew in the cafe, we would cook and serve we would serve our customers that. And now, most of those produce that we grow, you can't sell them. Like, for example, I don't know if you're familiar with banana stem, but banana stem is it's a giant of Ayurveda. It's great for your kidneys, tastes wonderful, and it's almost a waste product from the banana. But traditionally, it was eaten. Now, if you sell that to the market, you will get 10 rupees benefit from the where you sell it, but you will spend 20 rupees in petrol. So you make a loss on that. However, if you feed people the banana stem and all these sag and all these different, vegetables that are not so popular anymore, then you start to see that people want that. People are looking for health. People are looking to how to address lifestyle diseases. And people need waking up to see that, hang on, this is my culture. This is why I have a language. In Upanishad, we say there's Anamaya Kosh, which is the body, basically the food sheath. And then you have Pranamaya Kosh, which is energy. Then you have Manamaya Kosh, which is where a language can emerge from. So from a language, we have culture, we have writing, we have poetry, we even have spirituality. So we see that a society that's lost track of where its food comes from due to over industrialization of agriculture, that society is going to lose its culture. That's what's happened in England. That's what's happened in America. That's why we feel such a fragmentation in those countries. Even you can see it being played out, in their dramas. And you come to a country, and I'm not saying India is perfect, but you come to a country like India where there still is a strong sense of the land and traditions and food and traditional foods, and every state having a different color of that. You start to recognize, hang on, these people are related to these foods. They're related to the land that offered those foods. And that if we lose sight of that, then we really have a catastrophe. So I guess what I've been doing over these last, 20 or so years is sort of recognizing the need to honor the gifts of Mother Nature through eating these local foods and creating community with it. So this is all about farm to plate. This is the key, farm to plate.
Krishna ji, from where did you get all this knowledge?
From my ma, from my Devi, my Bhumi Dev. She's teach everything.
Yeah.
People ask me, how do you learn that? And I tell you, it's like a relationship, like now I know you just this much. If we spend little time, I'll get to know you more. And over time you will share more, your personality, your colors, your qualities will become deep friends. So it's like that. Time is a currency. And I spent a lot of time in these fields. I spent a lot of time observing, being with her, understanding that we really don't know anything. My guru Fukuoka said, be a fool, you know, clever person, will never understand Mother Nature. Mother Nature, she's always there. She's just there. She doesn't have an agenda. She gives 1,000 mangoes. If you eat them, I eat them, they rot or the rat eats them. She doesn't care. You know, there is no agenda with nature. There's no concept. There's no opinion. It's being. So I guess I've observed that in a very practical way. You know, we needed money to survive. We had all these things. You see, we used to go to the shop in Oroville and then we'd take 20 kilos of Loki and they'll say, no, we don't want that. What do you mean you don't want that? 20 kilos of Loki is perfect. No, people won't buy it. I say, why? They want zucchini. I say, but zucchini doesn't grow here. Loki's Indian. And then you start to see there's the problem. If you go in this bioregion, and I'm not accusing anyone in Oroville, it's everyone, it's Indians, it's Westerners, it's everyone in this bioregion. And you ask, what vegetables do you like? They'll say potato, carrot, beetroot, cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli. None of those vegetables grow here. You ask any Tamil lady, when you were a child, a senior lady, when you were a child, did you eat potatoes? They'll say no. And you say, yeah, ma, why you didn't eat? Because they don't grow here, of course. And yet everybody eats those vegetables. So, of course, there's climate change. Because to bring a potato to your plate, you have to manufacture a lorry. And a lorry means factories for the engine, the tires, plastic, glass, the paint, the pipelines, the oil rig refinery, the tanker, the nuclear power station, and all of that is called ecological cost. And all of that is a detriment to Bhumi Dev. This is offending her, it's hurting her. And when we hurt her, we're destroying ourselves, we destroy our society, our culture. Now, we push kids to become very good at something, study hard, be the best in the class, get to IIT, MIT, whatever, you know, C++, AI, microchips, and all that. But those kids, they have no idea, for example, what is Arbi. You know Arbi, no?
Yes, yes.
It's a traditional plant that was used instead of potatoes. It's very delicious, very nutritious, and very appropriate to grow that in various bioregions, much more than other things. Now, as they eat potatoes all the time, they don't know Arbi anymore. And as
Agree with you.
potatoes are functional, it's functional food. It's easy to transport, to store, you sell it, chips, whatever, masala, blah, blah, blah. And food is functional. Food is not about a relationship with the land and where it comes from. So we are experiencing an erosion of cultural identity because we don't eat traditional foods. Give it another 2 generations, unless serious steps are made, not only by the government, by everybody. It's the consumers, it's schools, it's corporates, it's everyone's responsibility. Serious steps to value millets, to value traditional foods, like all the gourds, the loki, and all these things, and all the sags, and to rediscover the roots of a cultural nutritional heritage. Then we do go in the direction of England and America. There's no escaping it, you know, because our culture comes from the land. That's absolutely that can't be denied. So there's a lot of work to be done right now. However, in England, the work to be done is like climbing Mount Everest 10
Yes.
times without chapels on. In India, it's maybe climbing one time because we still have that relationship. We still have that knowledge. So after all these years in solitude, we have a farm cafe, we do lots of workshops, we have festivals and celebration and music, and we've taught a lot of people come here every day. My question to myself is, well, what can I do? What's the practical thing of what I can do? And what I started to recognize is it's really about farm to plate, because farmers are the bottom of the pile. I mean, it's a very well documented in India. We know the farmers' suicides, we know all the protests and all of these things. So we cannot honor a farmer if we want zucchini. We cannot honor a farmer if we want, wheat, but we don't want raggi. We have to understand what grows locally. Now, this isn't nuclear science. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. And yet we don't eat those foods. In fact, people have mostly, we don't know where the food is, even where it's coming from. So farm to plate means starting to create intercrops with a food forest, maybe with collectives, with numerous farmers. And when you're creating those types of farms, you're actually planting a menu. And
Yes.
you're planting a menu with the idea. I always say to people, imagine you're planting for midday meal scheme,
Yes.
you know? Imagine that food. Imagine green papaya. It's like carrot. The only difference is it doesn't have to come in a lorry. It has the same similar taste. It has better nutritional medicinal values and it grows all the year round and it grows for 3 years. You pull up the carrot, it's finished. You have to start again. And you can do halva, you can do sabji, curries, whatever you like, soups. There's so many things you can do with it. Now imagine something like the green papaya. It's in the midday meal menu, along with the drumstick, the moringa, the swahaja, svenja. How do you call that? Sahajan. No, they call it. I think in
Yes.
UP.
Right. That thing,
And
banana. Mm.
yeah, and all these other traditional foods, banana stem, banana flour, cooking bananas, and arbi,
Mm.
loki. Imagine those foods are grown locally by, say, groups of farmers, and a little lorry comes around, picks it up every day. They're all signed up to a scheme. They get some additional income because they're all going to the midday meal scheme. It gets dropped off at a central midday meal scheme center, and those kids eat that food. Now, if you and me are one of those kids and we grow up for 10 years eating something like arbi, for example, as we grow up, you will have different opinions to me. It's normal. You will like Sai Baba or you like Krishnamurti and I like Sai Baba. And I will tell you, hey, Krishnamurti is just a fool. Why you? And you will tell me, how dare you, give me a slap. Then you are vegetarian, I eat meat. And you'll tell, why are you eating meat? And I'll say, who are you to tell me what to eat? Again, we'll have a fight. And then people have different preference in music, politics, books, whatever. Disagree on so many things. But you put that arbi with some local saag cooked together and we both eat it, we'll both go, hey, kebat, ache hai, savas. So the local food becomes the lowest common denominator in a society. It becomes the thing that everyone can agree on. Well, we live on this earth and we live in this bioregion, and the food we need grows in this bioregion, and we obviously we eat these foods because foods coming from farther away are destroying our planet. They also are not so healthy. These foods are a reflection of Ayurveda. They even grow with less water. It's so obvious. But the whole structure of industrialized agriculture, from the chemicals, the tractors to the hybrid seeds, it doesn't permit it. So this type of thing can only happen on a very roots level, on a very, very grassroots level, growing up slowly because people understand the importance of that. But I would say, just going back, I know I'm talking a lot, excuse me, but
Please,
just going
please.
back,
This is all for you. Please.
just
Yes.
just going back, like, imagine we grow up, with that, and we have this common thing we believe in. I believe that, even more than the nutritional benefit we would have or the ecological benefit, that there would be some resonance between people in the society. There's one thing we can agree on, and that thing is pretty fundamental. And I think that I think that's vastly overlooked. Even if we're looking at GDP and income and money as the supreme aim, even then, surely a society that's healthy, that is not contributing to climate change, that has something in common, surely that society will be more productive. Surely it'll be more creative, surely be more happy. And I think that a serious understanding of this is needed. Not just compartmentalizing it, but you know someone like yourself who's really giving time for this narrative to be exposed and aired and heard, it needs that. And I would say it needs that. Another project that I've started is to work with corporates. So corporates have money, they're being pushed by government to get net zero, and they are some of the CEOs are even willing, they're
Mm.
actually inspired, to a certain extent. So there's one corporate I was working with in Chennai, 5 acres they gave me. They have 600 acres. They gave me 5 acres. They invested quite a lot of money. They put a fence, they plowed the land, they brought compost, we made beds. And in 3 months, we had 700 kilos of produce. We were feeding 50 people from their company every day. Now, I said to them, if we take this further, we go to 500 people a day, and you think of the money that you're saving, then you start to see that those people, the branding that it gives for your company. Then imagine that company, like we also look at water a lot. So we make our own soap to recycle water. Imagine, you run Infosys, for example, and in every Infosys toilet, there's a little bar of soap with a big eye on it. And Infosys says, we're an Indian company. We don't pollute the water because the water is our mother. And we don't pollute the water because we make our own soap. And we make our own soap, and all the water is channeled back to our garden, and the wastewater is used to grow food. I mean, this is possible. I hope it doesn't sound flippant, and I definitely don't mean to offend anyone at all, because it's never my intention. But you know, I see Indians running, the NASA and the White House and Google, and you think, well, this is just logistics. Surely we can get this together. A midday meal scheme center, or make some rules where corporates are obliged to start growing. You give a list of different ingredients with which they have to make a certain amount of dishes with, and they start to plant those things. We start to move from ornamental landscapes to edible landscapes. And I believe it's possible because I've done it, and I don't even have a university degree. I'm not particularly clever. So I really believe it's possible in India.
You're
I
very
really.
passionate. You're very passionate. See, Krishna ji, you need a healthy produce. It must be supplied, and we must know how to cook it.
Absolutely.
So it's the produce to the plate, but our children now need to learn about the produce, and they need to learn how to cook it.
Absolutely. So we still have that generation who knows that. That's the as the older generation, they still need to know. So we need to lean on them and say, please inform us. Traditionally, when you live, if you live in Patna in Bihar, in Diwali, what did you do traditionally? What were the specialities? Or in the monsoon, what did you eat? And then you go in Rajasthan, how did you make bajra roti? And in this area, what did you do with ragi? And it needs to be documented. It needs to be like a national project of every state's dishes and how they were made. I met a lady, she was doing research from the ancient Tamil Sangam period poetry, which is more than 2,000 years old, and they were deciphering recipes. And then she made the recipe with ragi, and I ate it, and I realized that I'm eating a time machine. This culture is so ancient. And but it's still there. That's the beauty of what we have in India. It's still there, and it will go if we don't wake up. But we can, because Indians are very intelligent, and they have devotion. They have devotion to Devi. They can do it.
It also means that every kitchen has to be treated like a temple.
Sure, every farm has to be treated like a
Yes.
temple.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think that one should never be too extreme when we're starting this. So I say to corporates, like I talk to them and I say, look, it's a big job. I got it. It's not easy for you to start this, but why don't we start with one thing? Let's start with green papaya. In your campus, we'll plant it everywhere. And once a week, just once a week, in one meal, we'll do green papaya halwa. And the next week, we'll do green papaya sabji. And the
Yes.
next week, we'll do a green papaya Thai salad. And the next week, we'll do a curry. So that's the step. Likewise, I have a project that I presented actually to the government in Tamil Nadu, and it's that it's a very simple idea that the drumstick spinach. You see, I went for a climate change conference, and I gave my speech, and I said to them, "Do you like drumstick spinach?" And they said, "Yes, moringa, no." And they
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, we like it." And then I said, that's great. Does it grow on your campus? They said the campus is 100 acres, it's growing everywhere. There's 10,000 students. I said, "Oh, wonderful, So, great, you have it." And then I said, "Do you serve it in the canteen?" And they said, "No." I said, "Well, well, there's the problem. You like to eat it, and you know how to eat it because you eat it at home. You have it on your back garden, and yet you're not using it." So I have a project where I would like to get every college in Tamil Nadu, and maybe it can become a pan-Indian project eventually, but every college in Tamil Nadu, just once a week, have drumstick spinach on their menu once a week in the canteen. That's all. So, what does it entail? It entails that a group of students get together and make a nursery. And then those students, with gardeners, with some help, are planting that drumstick all throughout the campus. And then maybe there's teams that harvest it. It goes to the canteen, it's cooked, and maybe those students do some documentation. That's it. I mean, they can keep getting more expansive and do social reach out later and everything, and meet and YouTube and Instagram if they want, but just be simple about it.
That's
Every week,
wonderful because what you're
and
saying
it's
is not, yes,
possible.
yes.
It's possible. it's
You're
not
taking,
it's not that difficult, but we need to. And it's not a business of anybody's. It's nobody's profit. It's like open source software. It belongs to everyone. It's something where there would be a collective website, and every college gets a password, and they can upload their photos, they can share what they've done, you know and it's and we start to see this is what makes us a society. This is what gives us our collective heart. This is where we say, yeah, we're from Tamil Nadu. And then all the differences can emerge from there, no problem. Differences are beautiful, but let's
yes,
have
and we
one
are
thing
not
in.
going to be, yes, we can't be rigid with the youngsters. There's
Yeah,
not going to be specific do's and don'ts with them, but a soft introduction. There's
yeah,
going to be a
once a week we
gentle,
eat it.
yes,
And I've seen that when you involve young people in the planting, growing, and the whole process, the cooking, they'll eat it. They
yes,
like it. It's when something is imposed on them, then they don't see
that's what we
that.
say. Yes,
Mm,
we'll be open to those ideas that you
yeah,
while you have your tastes, try this.
yeah,
But what you're talking about is love. What you're talking about is care for Mabhumi
for sure,
and a connect.
for sure.
Why are we not treating her right? What do you
Well,
think is
we
happening?
have an education system that is competitive. If you read what Krishnamurti talks about competition, with competition there cannot be love. It's impossible. One is like, you go in a room and you turn the light switch on, there's light. You go in out of the room, you turn it off, it's dark. There is no in between. So where there's competition, there is no love. Where there is ambition, I want to be something and I'm going to get more than you, there is no love. And I think that we're being pushed so fast and so hard. I mean, you know how it is with parents in India, and around the world it's the same. I think in England it's a bit less because people are sort of given up. They've sort of given up with the whole thing system, it's collapsing. But there's this thing, study hard, become the best, you have to be the topper, and you have to go to America, and there's this pressure to succeed. But I receive so many Indians who have succeeded in America, and they come back, and you know what they want to do? They want to start farming. you know, I mean, it's I don't know. There's this I don't know. It's a bit off subject, but there's this pop star from Australia. She's a Tamilian, and she sings this song. I wear my roots like a medal, and it touches me so much. I mean, I'm not even Indian, no, but it touches me. It moves me. That pride, but that pride, that love of a culture of where you're from. Um, that has to come back to the land and the food, because without that there's no anamaya kosh, no anamaya kosh, no manamaya kosh, no manamaya kosh, no culture.
It starts with the food, and it starts with cooking with your hands.
Definitely.
Yes, that's why our home, our kitchens are sacred. I mean, whatever your tastes are, whatever you like, but cook it with love and get the fresh produce for it. That's so
Absolutely.
important. What's your day like? What's your day like, Krishna ji?
My day is like I get up and I try and do exercises. And I try and do yoga nidra because it's very lazy meditation, but I can get very deep relaxed in yoga nidra. And I go to the kitchen and I have a meeting at 8 with all my workers, and we have a 5-10 minute meditation. And I don't know, it sometimes goes over their heads, but I see them closing their eyes. I see them valuing that moment and being together. And I always take that time to look at the leaves and the clouds and the sky and the plants, and just to be, with the plants. And I think that everyone feels that together. So that's a very nice moment. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, harvest all the produce, anything we have, spinaches, drumstick, bananas, lady's finger, bring it back to the kitchen, we weigh it. And we've demonstrated now that our small 4.5, 5 acre farm is producing between 8 to 10 tons of food in a year, without chemicals, without tractors, without anything very much, just with a few people working together. And then that food is separated into some baskets for people who've ordered
Yes,
a fruit
yes.
and veg basket, but
Food.
they don't
Yes.
choose what they get. They get what
Nothing.
Mother Nature gives. It's like
Yes.
their acceptance of it is like a bhakti. It's very beautiful. The people who
Right.
decide to join that, and the rest it goes in our little shop, or it goes to an Oroville shop, and the rest goes to the kitchen for cooking. So that's 3 times a week. I'm doing quite a few videos on the subjects that I'm talking about. And then I have a lot of workshops I'm teaching. I talk to a lot of groups. A lot of groups come and meet me. And then of course I have to go to the field and help. Namaste, Kiranji. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much to be. Oh, wonderful. Thank
Been
you.
here, been hearing you, Krishna.
Nice to see you, Ma. We missed us in Pondi, but now we're seeing us face to face.
I know. I've been hearing you, Krishna. You've been so wonderful. It's been so knowledgeable hearing you.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you.
I'll be in Pondicherry soon, the week after, at the Arvind Eye Care Center.
Okay. I
Yeah, have
heard
you?
maybe you have been nominated to be our new secretary.
That's what you all been asking and wanting.
I think yeah, there's some hope. Yeah, something could be a very beautiful fit.
If there is, I will switch right away to Pondicherry. I love the place.
Oh, lovely.
If something like that happens, but it's not likely. I think it's too highly political.
Let's see. In Tamil they say avanindri or anumasiyada. Without God, one atom doesn't move. So we never know.
I'm so happy to hear you what you're doing, Krishna.
Yeah, it's I was just explaining to your daughter that it's so simple. It's really not complicated. It's a question of honoring the foods that have always grown here, let them grow simply, and use them. And to use them, you have to have a kitchen. I would say a cafe is the worst thing because people come and they want this, but they don't want that. But if you have like a kitchen where you have like emphasis and they need 1,000 meals. So you're 10, 15 farmers and you provide all that food and you also organize the kitchen, because the farmers are the one who should be in control with that. And you serve that, then all of a sudden farmers are making profit. Otherwise, farmers cannot make profit because no one wants the banana stem, no one wants the banana flour, and all these other vegetables. They want, as I said, all the industrialized foods. And there's so many other foods that grow in between when you practice permaculture in a food forest. And those things are the things that only village ladies know, that they go and collect them in their saris. But we use all of that in our farm, and there's no reason why those couldn't be on a midday meal scheme or couldn't be in a corporate lunch scheme. And, everyone would be well, including our planet. All lifestyle diseases could be addressed in one generation simply by using something like jungli bangan, the sundakai, the wild eggplant. And traditionally it was used and now it's not. So we're on this path. And the fact that you've invited me here today, the fact that now I'm doing an entertainment show in Chennai on the TV, and it's just a funny, thing, and some dancing and chatting and blah blah blah, but they give me half an hour to talk about green papaya. Last week I talked about drumstick and I show them how it can be used and the relevance and why and this and that. And the fact that they give me that space within a very, almost commercialized entertainment, I'm willing to do that. So I feel very optimistic. I feel if anywhere this subject of farm to plate is really going to take off, it needs the government's blessing, but it also needs corporates, it needs schools, it needs like the whole society needs to be behind it. But if it can happen anywhere, I truly believe it can happen in India.
Beautiful.
Ah,
Farm
nice.
to plate. Krishna ji, how are the children learning? How receptive are they when they come to you? How receptive are they?
So, kids are kids. You need to dedicate time with kids. It's kids want to go and play with balls and climb trees. And I have a friend who runs a garden project in Palo Alto. She's actually she's also Indian, NRI, a very wonderful person. And she just said, she has this garden. She just says, let them do anything they want. Let them climb trees, find bugs, whatever. Because at first they just need to reconnect. Going heavy in with the intellect and talking about this and that, and that just puts people off. Here, what we've done with them is we created little gardens for them, which was obviously is a little tough for them to do. And then we just gave them plants and they planted and the seeds, they water it. And now tomorrow they're coming and they're gonna be cooking. So one of the groups will go and harvest hibiscus, Lakshman fal leaves, tulsi, lemongrass, and they'll come back and they'll boil that, and they'll add lemon and give it as a tea, because the parent it's just before a 1 week midterm break. So the parents will come in and have that. Another group are going to harvest plantain and peel them and make bhaji from that. And another group are going to make laddu with coconut, peanut, and they're going to open the coconut, and sesame and jaggery. So I believe the biggest education that you can give for kids is in the mouth, is eating it. You give them the chance to do it with the hands and eat it with their mouth. They start to be inspired to do that. And as adults, as parents, as teachers, we have to facilitate those spaces. So on Fridays we have the kids coming here, and there was one person who wrote on the Instagram, oh, you're doing wrong, they should be in the classroom. I mean, why? Look at the way the world is going. If the classroom was the right place for people, we wouldn't have climate change. We wouldn't have, so many problems like diabetes and, heart disease. We would have a happy, harmonious, healthy world. But we don't. because we're pushing our kids to be cerebrally top heavy, where actually what they need is, definitely the intellect is something to be treasured and explored with fascinating energy. But we also need to know where, about the land and the value of a neem leaf. Otherwise some company from America will come and try and patent it. you know so we have to know the value of Bhumi Dev and her gifts, because she's our mother. Without her, we're not even here. I feel it's so obvious, all these things. But as I said, she's sort of revealed herself to me over the years. But this is not my knowledge. This is a knowledge which belongs to this earth. And there are many, many, many people in villages all throughout India who can speak about this a million times better than me and demonstrate this. We have to honor those people. We have to give a space for those people. They may not have degrees, they may not speak English, but those are the people we have to be, honoring, because they are the custodians of a cultural identity. And without them, we will become like England and America.
Krishna, it's interesting. You know what? This event is happening on the day when it's Saina's birthday as well.
I know, I know.
How did you know that?
A little birdie whispered it in my ear.
Oh, the Oroville birdie, is it?
There's little birdies coming and going.
Saina
I
is
would like,
just, yeah, yeah,
no,
carry
please
on,
tell me. No, no,
carry
please
on.
go ahead.
Saina is just 1 year less than being 50.
Oh, really? Okay, you're my, what we say in Tamil, Papa, my baby sister.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Thank
so
you.
she's
Dr.
celebrating her birthday with you for this event, linking it with
Beautiful.
nature and
I thought
nature.
to I thought to just share with you a last thing about this whole subject. So, as you may know, I'm a musician. I've been with the record
Yes.
label Blue Frog in Mumbai and played in the Kennedy Center in DC, in the Glastonbury Festival in England, and done a whole bunch of TV stuff. And I love music. And without the farming, I can't play music. But without music, I probably couldn't do the farming. And I always recognize, I was in a club in Mumbai with like millionaires, and I was playing, I don't know, Lucky Ali was there, and it was wonderful to meet all these guys. But I felt this is very elitist. I want to play my music for my community. So I started a festival, a music festival on the farm, and I started to see that music and art is really an adhesive. It brings people together. And so we've had loads of music festivals on the farm. The festival's called Lively Up Your Earth. And it's a celebration of Mother Nature and community and creativity. It's really what Oroville stands for. The residents of Oroville are what make Oroville.
Why don't you
And
sing a
it's
bit? Why?
Please,
How about
that's what I
making?
thought. I thought I'll
yes,
I thought
please
I'll
do,
sing a little
Krishna.
song that
Please
I
do.
always feel represents it represents this work, because
Why don't
without
we do that?
joy,
Krishna, go ahead.
what's
Do some
the
singing.
what's the use?
Okay, go
This
ahead
song
and
is
do
called
something.
this song is called Just for Joy. I'll just get my
Okay,
guitar. It's just
okay,
here
good.
one second.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just for joy. These notes I sing with you, jumping under my fingertips. Hope to spread happiness through to you. Like mischievous forest elves, those notes aren't scared of the game, frightening to those who never play with us, frightening to those who never join the groove. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. To you, to you. feel the grass-filled we land. See the earth beneath your feet. She makes no wise with me. She makes no wise with me now. Wise with me. She makes no wise with me now. Hey, hey, think on this. Hey, hey, come play with me. Hey, hey, I make this for you. Hey, hey, so happy I'll be.
How
La
nice.
la 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 la. La la, you can sing along if you like. La
I wish I
la
could.
la la. La
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 la la
la
la
la.
la.
La la la
La la la
la
la
la.
la.
La
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 la la
la.
la.
La 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 la
La la la
la la
la.
la 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 la. Do you?
La la la.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do 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 do. Don't think too much, just dance. Just give out yourself. Do you? Don't hold anything back. Does this make sense to you?
You know, Saina used to sing when she was small. Can we have Saina to sing the
Mummy,
bhajan?
Please.
Saina, why don't you
next
sing that
time,
bhajan? You sang
next,
as a child.
next time. Pag guru
No.
guru ban mera nachi.
Your mom is pushing you, Saina.
Yes, Krishna
Why
ji,
don't you sing
when
when
I
you
meet
sang as
you,
a child on the stage?
yes, yes, mummy. When I meet Krishna ji, I'll sing when he strums the guitar. At that time, Krishna ji, mommy, thank you. Krishna ji, everything about you is so true. Everything about you is so real and pure and true. I know the time is up, mommy. I need to take a minute, and I want to ask Krishna ji something. You were looking for some answers when you came to Auroville. Have you found them?
I have found that this life is exceedingly challenging, and we will be faced with so many problems and difficulties. And the only possible solution for anything is observation in the present being, watching very carefully what is. There is no movement away from the now that can help us. So not that I've arrived there, but at times when I feel some relief, from my the burden of my humanity, I can see that that relief is there from understanding about being, finding that part of being. My, as I told you, my teacher Nisargadatta Maharaj, he would, or Ramana Maharishi, they talk about being, be,
Have you
know
been
who
to
am I. So
Have you
that's
been to
my,
Ramana Maharishi's uh, place,
yeah,
which
my
is close
wife
to
is
us?
born there in Tiruvannamalai. My wife is from there. My
Uh,
wife's name
uh.
is Deepa.
Have you been
She
to his
started,
cave? Have you
of
seen his cave?
course.
Ah,
Of course, of course. He's like he's the guru of the gurus. He's a wonderful
that's right.
teacher. Yeah,
Can we have some
yeah.
more celebration? Can we have more celebration? Come on,
Sing
Right
another.
now,
Yes.
go
Uh,
ahead, my friends. Where is our demonstrative learning? Don't they have any celebrations? What they're
would you
doing?
want me
Happy
to play some?
birthday! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. It's your birthday, hooray!
Happy birthday to you,
Hey!
Saina. Happy birthday.
Jayadhari Ma, as Saina Ma'am always says, how soft-spoken Saina Ma'am is and how her thoughts inspire us every day in the morning has always boosted up our confidence. So, a very happy birthday from my side to Saina ma'am.
A very happy birthday to Saina ma'am. I wish her abundance, joy, happiness, and a lifelong health. You are one of the most beautiful humans to ponder upon in a conversation.
जन्मदिनमिदं ऐप्रिया सखे सन्तनोतु ते सर्वदा मुदं प्रार्थयामहे भवसदायुषी ईश्वर सदा त्वां च रक्षतु. Wish you happy birthday, ma'am.
Happiest birthday to one of my favorite person. Your words inspired me always. I always remember your words that you have said in book reading session. मन को कभी निर्बल नहीं होने देना और मन को हमेशा निर्मल रखना. Thank you for inspiring us. Once again, happiest birthday.
Wishing you a very happy birthday, Saina ma'am. Your kind words and charming personality will always be an inspiration for me. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Saina ma'am. May you have an amazing year ahead. We are very thankful for your amazing and remarkable knowledge. Thank you and a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Saina ma'am. Wishing you a day filled with love, laughter, and all your favorites.
A very happy and wonderful birthday, Miss Saina ma'am. Wishing you a day full of laughter and enjoyment, and keep smiling always.
Happy birthday, Saina ma'am. May your day be filled with joy, happiness, and enlightenment. Wishing you the courage, the best of all.
A very happy birthday, ma'am. As you guide and bless us children every day, may Almighty bless you with all the joy, love, and happiness in your life.
Rises every day, but this day is very special to you. A very happy birthday to you, ma'am. Let the God give more and more success in your life. Once again, happy birthday to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Saina ma'am. Whatever you share with us is really so informative for us, and I really admire you a lot.
A pure soul, a guiding light. Saina ma'am, may your birthday shine with star this delight. Whispers of love forever inside. Happy birthday, ma'am.
A very happy birthday to you, Saina ma'am.
May your birthday be as special and wonderful as you are.
Hi Saina ma'am, wish you many more happy returns of the day. Hope you have a wonderful year ahead, as awesome as you are. You are truly special and gifted. Happy birthday once again.
Happy birthday ma'am. Hope you have an amazing birthday filled with so many blessings and amazing memories to remember, and hope you have an even better year ahead.
Wish you a very happy birthday, dear ma'am. May God bless you with the best of
Happy birthday, Saina ma'am. Your dedication and commitment towards learning made it special. Thank you for your support. Wishing you a day filled with fun and happiness.
Happy birthday, Saina ma'am. You're such a lively yet calm person, and I'll never ever forget the story that you told us. I'll always try to equip myself with the necessary skills, street smartness, and of course financial independence. I hope you have a great day and an amazing year ahead.
Happy birthday, Sania ma'am. Wishing you a day filled with happiness and laughter.
Happy birthday, Saina ma'am. Thank you so much for encouraging us throughout our journey, and thank you for sending heartwarming messages every day. Once again, wish you a very happy birthday.
Wishing you the very happiest of birthdays, ma'am. May the next trip around the sun be your best. Wishing you a year full of happiness and success.
Okay, but very sweet.
You're like this. Jai Halima. I've always believed with conversations, you meet very interesting people and you build some wonderful relationships. Little did I realize that starting this conversation with a wonderful team, I will engage with such a wonderful person. I have met a friend, I have met a philosopher who's turned out to be a wonderful sister as well. So wishing Saina Didi a very happy birthday. May this year continue to be filled with a lot of love, good health, and may you pass on all the positive vibes and your wonderful words of wisdom. Thank you very much and wishing you a very happy birthday.
Wow! Krishna, see what magic you've created? See the magic you've created, Krishna?
I think that was the team on your side. It was very sweet, no?
I offer all these kind words at Madhari's feet.
I think you touched those girls so much. It's so sweet to see how much
Mommy,
you move them. Mhm.
Mommy, I thank you and I thank Abu for his life.
Happy birthday to you. Happy long and healthy life to you. From our Demonstrative Learning channel and all our friends, Krishna here and Jitesha, and all
Krishna
the
ji,
friends who joined in.
Krishna ji, Krishna ji, we need to do more work. We together.
Maybe we can meet. Maybe we can meet. Maybe if you have a
Krishna,
chance, you can come and
Saina
visit
has
the
a
farm.
wonderful 5-acre farm and she's using it only for cattle fodder. She has a cow shed there and keeping cows. She's not using the land otherwise for her, other than cattle fodder. Maybe you can guide her.
You can within the cattle fodder. You can have many trees. The cows will live under those trees. Lot of
We'll,
possibilities are there.
we'll do more work for the
Step by
farm,
step.
for the land,
Step
for
by
the
step.
Step by step.
Gausala, and also for our children. You've seen such wonderful children today.
Yeah.
Jitisha and such wonderful children, and they all need your knowledge, and they all need to learn how to cook.
Yes.
Absolutely, Mom. Mom, if you allow me a little note I'd like to present for you.
Yes,
Yes, it is.
yes.
So, first of all, wish you a very, very happiest birthday, our dearest Saina, Mom. So, okay, I'm actually overwhelmed today. On this special day, I just want to take a moment to actually express how much you mean to me and all of us. I mean, working alongside you has been nothing short of an inspiring journey. I mean, truly, one that I'm deeply grateful for. So I actually remember our first phone call, which was actually eager, but I was unsure of the idea the first time you stated to me about the NGO or about the interviews we were about to conduct. And I was actually wondering how would the things unfold, how would it be possible for us, and everything, all that uncertainties and stuff. But today, looking back at that, now I have realized that we have actually come a long way ahead. Through the many events that we have planned and executed, you've been the steady hand that helped shape our vision. So, Mom, from the brainstorming sessions and to the last moment calls, to moments of stress when things actually maybe didn't seem to go as planned, Mom, you have been the one that has kept me motivated to reminding us that why we have started in the first place. Ma'am, your wisdom and calm leadership have been a beacon to all of us, encouraging us to push boundaries and to actually make an impact on our community. So, ma'am, on your birthday, we all just want to celebrate not just the amazing mentor we have, but the incredible human being that you are. So, thank you for everything you've taught me and for being such a vital part of my journey. Wish you very happiest and warmest birthday, ma'am. And we love you.
Ma bless you. I love you all. Ma bless you. खुश रहो, हंसते खेलते रहो. Your life be filled with happiness. Ma Dhari bless you. Krishna ji, I'll also like to introduce. You met them, but let's get our DL team joining us.
Can the DL team join us, please? Hey, there you are. Lovely.
Happy birthday!
Hey, happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
I called Shakira Commando before. That's Shakira, that's Shivani, that's little Sujata. Thank you.
See, Krishna, this is
Namaste.
a magic team we have. This is a magic team of Saina.
Vanakkam!
Vanakkam.
Krishna ji, do you see when your heart is so pure and your intention is so pure, the kind of joy you brought today?
I don't know. You guys seem pretty joyful as well. It's just nice, no? It's a lovely meeting. Very
Yeah.
nice meeting. And I really hope that we can meet in person and maybe cook something together, eat something together one time would be lovely.
Krishna ji, Surya Kala, our child, our
That's
DL
lovely,
family
Surya.
child, is
Lovely
near
to
you.
see you.
She's from
Hello, ma'am.
Pondicherry. Good evening, ma'am.
Surya Kala is in
Happy birthday.
Pondicherry, Krishna.
She's near you,
Oh, welcome,
Krishna
ma.
ji.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Good evening,
Surya,
sir.
go
Yes,
meet
ma'am.
sir. Go meet Krishna ji, beta.
Surya Kala, you
Good
can
evening,
meet
sir.
connect Krishna. Meet Krishna at Oroville.
Yeah, you
Yes,
come.
ma'am.
Come and visit. Every Saturday we have a free farm tour that you are welcome to attend. 11:30 every Saturday.
Okay, sir. Okay, sure.
We'd love to see you here.
Great. Lovely.
Krishna ji, you have a heart of gold. You have
Yeah.
such pure energy. We need more people like you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
We
your
need more
kindness.
people. We need more people like you.
So happy birthday once again from all of us.
Yes,
Wishing
happy
you a
birthday.
healthy and very creative year ahead.
जी
Happy
मम्मी
birthday, Saina. Happy birthday.
जय धारी माँ आप सबको जय धारी माँ
जय धारी माँ
जय धारी माँ जय
Jai
धारी
Dhari.
माँ Krishna ji,
It's
I'll
all
see you
divine grace.
soon. I'll see you soon, and we're going to do some very blessed work together. We are not
Thank you
leaving
so
you
much.
here. We are not
Thank you
leaving
so
you
much.
here. We are
Yes,
not
I hope
leaving you.
so. I
No.
hope so.
And a very special mention for Rajiv for doing this and for coming on the show. He is
Yes.
a brother to me, and he's been wonderful.
Thank
Lovely.
you. And
And
thank you so much, Dr. Kiran Bedi. I feel very honored to have met you today. And who knows? Life unfolds. We will see.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
thank you to a
Thank you.
very, very loving DL family. Thank you to my India
Thank
Vision
you so much.
Foundation and my Navjyoti
God
India
bless you.
Foundation.
Thank Rajiv for also pitching in. Thank you.
Yes.
And all the young girls for having sent you wonderful greetings.
So many bachas got together with so many kind words. Thank you. Thank
All
you,
the
Shakira. Thank you,
magic of the
Sujata.
team DL.
Thank you, Shivani. Yes. They be naughty. I did not know anything what was going on. They be naughty today.
Sujata, the baby of the team, has played the magic.
Very nice.
No, ma'am, it together.
Surprises are best, no?
Yes.
Okay, Ben. All the best.
Jai
Celebrate.
Dhari.
God bless.
Krishna
Okay.
ji, wonderful talking
love
to
you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Okay. Okay.
Jai Dhari Ma.
Hari Om. Thank you so much.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Jai
Om.
Dhari.
Om.
Hari Om.
Oh.
Okay.